Chelsea. You think Chelsea are going to lose, don't you? You think they're going to lose away at Bournemouth. Why?
Yes. Chelsea are going to lose away at Bournemouth. Oh, Chelsea. Here we go again. From one plastic club to another plastic club with no real fans. Chelsea Football Club. I think with Chelsea, Bournemouth are their bogey team. This is something that even Chelsea fans will tell you. Bournemouth is a club they usually don't do well against. This is something that if a Chelsea fan is not triggered in the chat, he would tell you himself right now. Chelsea fans, I know BA is a real Chelsea fan. A couple of you guys here who support real Chelsea fans, in the chat, they tell you, listen, Bournemouth is a team that usually does well against them. So because Bournemouth is a team that usually does well against them, and Chelsea's problem has not been solved for the 100th millionth time. How many times did I come on this channel and I've been asked about Chelsea's business and I said, where are the goals coming from? Where are the goals coming from? Where are the goals coming from? And the answer was never given to me. And I look at this team and it's the exact same thing. Based on technical ability, technique, no goals. Pointless. It makes no sense. And they've come out publicly and said that Ben Chilwell is going to continue as the left winger. So if Ben Chilwell is going to continue as the left winger, then I'm sure even Chelsea fans are going to be extremely upset at said fact. And they'll be absolutely angry at the idea that Ben Chilwell is starting again as a left winger for them. So I look at this whole situation with Bournemouth, with Chelsea, and I see a Bournemouth win here. And it's funny because I thought I was in the minority. I had a predictions show, and all 5 predicted either a draw or a Bournemouth win. And it's come to the stage where everyone's sitting up here, whether it be media, whether it be people on socials, just babying the shit out of Chelsea Football Club. Why are we babying this club? Why am I supposed to sit up here and baby Chelsea and feel bad for them? And it's all going to be okay. I know you spent 1 billion, but you bought all your players from the kindergarten. That's not my fault. There is no way any of us right now look at that Chelsea 11 and think 1 billion. There is absolutely no way anyone thinks that. Look at their starting 11. Who's in goal? Sanchez. You got Disasi. Reece James, whenever he's fit, which is he's never fit. So let's put Gusto in there. You got Thiago Silva. You got Levi Colwill. You got Ben Chilwell. You've got in midfield Caicedo. You've got Enzo Fernandez. You got Lavia when he comes back. Palmer right now or Gallagher. You've got Jackson. You've got Sterling. And you've got either Mudryk or Chilwell left wing. That doesn't sound like $1 billion team. That doesn't... I thought Liverpool and Man United and certain other clubs had bad talent ID sometimes. Fam, this is not bad talent ID. This is gutter level. How do you spend this much money and you don't have a single recognized... They don't even have a single recognized star in the whole team. I look at that entire Chelsea team and I do not see a single player that I look at and go like, he's a star right now. Right now, I'm saying, not from 5 years from now. I'm saying right now. An entire £1 billion was spent, in my opinion, idiotically. And you look at this Chelsea team, and unless Jackson or Sterling scores goals, then their problems remain the same, putting the ball in the back of the net. And there's a little bit of uproar right now between the Chelsea fans. And by the way, the Chelsea fans will tell you right now, if they're not triggered, they'll be honest, they'll tell you. What I'm saying right now, it's because it's coming from me. I support Liverpool, they're angry. The reality is, it's if they put back the idea that it's Hussam saying it, and they listen to what I'm saying, it's actually what the Chelsea fans have been saying themselves. Don't play Chilwell left wing. Have we spent 1 billion and we don't have a recognized star in the whole team? This is not the real Chelsea that we all grew up on. Pochettino maybe doesn't fit what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish, and the decisions he's making on the pitch makes no sense. I've got Chelsea fans relying on Madueke for a result. Noni Madueke. I've never seen a more mid player my whole life than Noni Madueke. Just because you put on a bandana and the thing that covers your head and you have nice hair doesn't mean you can play football. Like you can't play football. We've seen San Maximan. There's a reason why he's in Al Ahly right now. Because whether you like it or not, I know all the ability merchants are gonna cry, but I don't give a fuck. Cry more. Football is about you putting the ball in the back of the net. You can shove your technique where the sun don't shine. If you don't put the ball in the back of the net, it will mean nothing. Chelsea fans are too busy telling us all, mocking the likes of Mo Salah, mocking the likes of Haaland, mocking the likes of others. If you put Mo Salah on the Chelsea team, they not only become significantly better, they have a player that can score 30 goals in that team, given the amount of chances they create. Similarly with Haaland, similarly with Rashford. Chelsea, I've said all summer long, and they didn't listen. Vlahovic makes sense. They needed a robot. All Chelsea needed was a robot who cannot play football but can score goals. That's all they needed. They didn't need no technical ability. They didn't need no nothing. They needed, give me a chance and I will score. Simple. That's literally all they needed. They needed the biggest bot in world football. Someone who cannot play the entire sport but can score goals. That's all they needed. And they don't have that. And they're trying to scapegoat the same people. Sterling. Sterling's been their best player. First four games, Sterling has been by far their best player, in my opinion. I saw him cook Robertson against us. I saw him play well against Luton. I saw him play well against West Ham. I saw him play well last game against Forest as well. He was the one creating the opportunities. It's not his fault Jackson can't score from half a yard, and he decided to sky it. Maybe he thought it's playing American football. So with Chelsea Football Club, I'm actually going to give Chelsea respect and treat them like a big club should be treated. I'm not going to sit up here and baby them. Why am I babying Chelsea for? Oh, yeah, they spent 1 billion, but it's all on kids. So I'm supposed to what? Sit back here and clap and go like, oh, they're all children. So what? It's my fault you bought all kids? You spent 1 billion and your team looks like Southampton in development from 10 years ago under Poch. There's no difference. What's the difference? At least they had a recognized goal scorer and Ricky Lambert. So, yeah, that's my thoughts on Chelsea. And Bournemouth will beat them. And Dominic Solanke will score. And mark my words.
You still haven't got over the Lavia and Caicedo deals, have you? It's still hurting you, isn't it? Still hurting you.
Injured, and the only thing Caicedo has is a shit song about him. You know Caicedo's song? Have you ever heard the Caicedo song?
No.
It goes like this: Chelsea, 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 Chelsea. That's how the Caicedo song goes. That's so for me, Caicedo is the prime example of why in life choose what you love.
The thing is, I would say, listen, I think there's a lot of what you've said that I understand. However,
name one thing I said that's wrong. I dare you.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm saying that a lot of those things existed last year and they still beat Bournemouth home and away. Bournemouth are still sitting, they're 16th in the league. They've not won a game all season. They've scored, I think they've only scored like 4 goals. They've conceded 8. They're not beating Chelsea. Like, as much as I know you want it to happen, Chelsea are going to win this game, and I think they'll win it by 2 or 3 goals.
It's either Bournemouth win or draw.
Nah, they'll win this game.
100%.
They'll win
Who's
this game.
Scoring the goal, Terry? Who?
Jackson will score.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. He has the lowest XG in the entire league. Most big chances missed already, first 4 games.
Lowest XG? You mean the worst conversion rate?
Yeah. He has one goal scored.
I think they'll win. I think they'll win, Chelsea. But do you feel like if they lose another game to they got beat by Forest, but if they lose another game to a relegation predicted side, the team predicted to be in the relegation race, how soon do you think more Chelsea fans could turn on Poch?
Oh, Chelsea right now. I'm so glad you asked. You call Man United a circus. The Chelsea fans right now, there is civil war every day. There's people turning on Enzo. There's people turning on Caicedo. There's people turning on Poch. There's people turning on Thiago Silva. We had Thiago Silva explain on Instagram that they were playing a back 4. Oh, Chelsea's an absolute mess right now. They're in an absolute state. And see, BA right here in the chat. Get Poch out. They're already turned on the manager. You know what I love about myself? I spit facts. There's a reason why I'm on straight facts, because I'm a guy. I admit maybe when it comes to Man United, I'm a little bit less factual because there's emotions there. But with other clubs, I am so straightforward and objective. You cannot stop me. Last week, I came up here and I said every single one of those things. And look at it. Get proven into fruition. Everything I said is happening in front of our very own eyes. What did I tell Terry last week? They expect the most impatient fan base in the entire league to be patient. Can we just, I just want everyone to think of that statement. How are we expecting the least patient fan base we've ever met our whole life to be patient? See, this guy is turned on Poch right here in the chat. 4 games turned on Poch. I know match-going Chelsea fans who have turned on Poch. People are turning on Poch already. I'm supposed to think that Chelsea are going to be on something this season? If Chelsea finish 8th, it's a significant improvement. If Chelsea finish 8th, give Pochettino Manager of the Year.
I hear you. Sorry, that's some bad breaking news. Amrabat's not fully fit for tomorrow's game. Fucking raging. I'm gonna cry.
That's why you sat back. I thought you were enjoying what I'm saying.
No, I am enjoying what you're saying, but that just literally came out now. I'm gutted. I want to cry.
Tell us your thoughts, Terry. Tell us your thoughts.
No, listen, I get where you're coming from. This Chelsea fan base has got to learn to be patient because they are not. I understand the mindset they had for many years under Roman because it yielded success, but the project that Roman built was different. The project was we would buy some young, but we're buying established players and the best managers, and we're going to put them together and go and win. And it was in an era where, yes, there was other good teams, but the most successful era under Roman came when they had a financial monopoly over everybody in England and most of Europe. If you actually break down I think they've won 5 Premier League titles. Three of them came in that first 5 to 6 years of him being there. 5, 6, 7 years. The other 2 came over the next 13. Deep that. They've not been in a title race for 6 years. That old model doesn't work anymore because you can't have in England that level of a monopoly. So what you have to build is something that is more sustainable, more long-term, based on style of play. And Chelsea are trying to build that from scratch and quick. So they're trying to build it quickly and from scratch. And someone I've tweeted this years ago, it made me laugh. He says, have you ever seen a McDonald's under construction? And it made me laugh. It's true. They're just not there and then they're fucking there, right? Chelsea are trying to do that. Ironically, it's an American owners, American business. It's like they're trying to create what Bayern Munich's and when Barca will run well, what they had, what what Dortmund's and what Ajax's have, this kind of what City have developed. They're trying to develop it really quickly. And you're never going to get there. If they turn on this manager, I get the criticism. If they turn on this manager, they're never going to get out of first gear. They have to be patient.
Yes, I agree. Now the question becomes, let's all come back to real life, Terry. They have to be patient. I agree with you. Let's shake hands. Will they be patient? Do you think you can teach a fan base patience to begin with?
No, I don't think they will be. Again, I agree with you. I think too many of them will lose it. What will happen is this. Some will lose their heads early, naturally. Others, there'll be some that are like, everyone sees an opportunity when their football team does badly to grow on social media. Because of what DT and Troops, and Goldbridge and all these guys did when Man United and Arsenal respectively went through turmoil, the growth they got, I think people go, I genuinely believe there's a percentage of fans that go, maybe this is my time to become famous. Maybe this is my time to grow a channel or my time to get big on Insta or TikTok to earn money. So you'll then get some that will perpetuate it because rivals want to see Poch out go round. So and so you get some that genuinely mean it.
We have someone who doesn't even own a channel who comes on the terrace and in Roy, for example, who is Poch out. You saw the tweet. I know you saw the tweet.
Yeah, he's the only guy. But like I'm saying, there's multiple reasons why people will turn. Some it's because they believe it. Some it's because they see a way of gaining out of it financially or for a career they suddenly want. I know of people that never been to games and not even that interested in football, but they like the idea of being a YouTuber. So they started going to games just so they could do fan cams. So they could become like, I know, and they've told me that's what they did. I'm not going to out them because I'm not going to damage a man's back pocket, but they support London club. That's all I'll say. But like for me, it's a case of there's all these different reasons why people do it, but it will damage the club. And there are times that you can criticize but be supportive. And I think Chelsea, do what you want. It's your club. If you stay where you are, that only benefits Manchester United. So I don't, on a personal level, I couldn't care less. If I'm being fair and being objective and just speaking as a football person, the worst thing you can do is turn on Pochettino. And do you know why I say this? Man United keep doing bloody rebuilds, keep changing managers. And every time we do, the same pattern ensues. To a point where I tweeted something about the Glazers last night. When someone said the United, the worst buyers in the Premier League. And I quoted it saying, yes, another reason why I want the Glazers out. And people are like, how dare you blame the Glazers for your managers buying bad players? And I'm like, they're like, they don't pick the players, they don't do the signings. This is all on the managers. It's like, no, it's to do with the team they pick. It's to do with the team that they bring in, because you can say no to a manager. Klopp's a prime example where he was told no for certain players and got better people in. Secondly, when we overpay and undersell for everybody, that is directly on the Glazers. And then because we overpay and undersell, you buy a dud, and instead of being able to go, look, we bought that £50 million, like, look at Anthony. Anthony should have cost us £50 million, but the board ended up having to pay 85 million. The extra 85 million, the extra 35 million we paid for him, and the lack of ability to sell means you can't replace him this summer with somebody else. If we were Man City and Anthony dropped that season, Pep would have been able to go to his board and said, you know what, got to replace him. Or we need somebody else to come in, and they'd have gone and got it done. We can't. So part of that is, of course, on Ten Hag, but an element is on the Glazers. But let me go back to the Chelsea point. If you keep, as fans, repeating the same patterns that you've done for the last 5 or 6 years, I know you won a Champions League, but most Chelsea fans tell you that in that time, there's paper over cracks. If you follow the same process every time of blaming the manager and saying what United fans do, a better manager with this squad would have us doing X, Y, and Z. There's only so many times you can keep saying that until you realize, hang on a minute, there's something deeply wrong with the football club. Turning on the manager hasn't worked 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times on the bounce. Therefore, that isn't the right course of action. Doesn't mean you can't criticize. Doesn't mean you shouldn't challenge. But if you're doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting different results, you're crazy. That literally is the definition of insanity. And Man United fans have gone through this, and we're falling into the same pattern now. But where you've got to look out for is false prophets. So again, the people that genuinely don't believe in Poch, fair enough. But the ones that are doing it for attention, clicks, likes, money, worry about them. And some do that. And also rival fans. Don't trust rival fans per se in these moments, because they want your club to go through turmoil. They want you turning on your manager. They want you angry at your football club. They do. So they'll be like, yeah, he's on Poch. He's on. They will gaslight you into going, yeah, if we get rid of Poch and we bring in, I don't know, De Zerbi, we're winning the league next year. Rival fans will convince you of that as well. Be mindful of it. Doesn't mean you can't criticize. Doesn't mean there isn't room for improvements. But get behind what your club are trying to do for a sustainable period of time, because it's going to take a good few years to get back to the top. Simple and straightforward as that.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we have found out that Terry agrees with everything Hussam says. So today we have proven that I am not jealous. It's not the bitterness thing. Everything I'm saying is factual. I don't expect the most impatient fan base in the league to be patient. I apologize, because they've already disproved that logic. It's already been disproved. They're already turning on the guy. So our logic can't be they have to not turn on the guy when there's already people turning on the guy to begin with. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the problem with Chelsea FC, the cesspit, the sewage that is Chelsea Football Club.
I hear you. I know some people will say this, Terry, but what if a manager's doing badly? You're saying that we should never call for him to be sacked. You've got to just look at it contextually, and you look at each situation in isolation. So a manager that's been at a club 6 or 7 years, like if Klopp, for instance, has another season like he did last year, starts getting it wrong and they fall off, there's a genuine reason to go, right, do you think the club, maybe he's just been there too long now and you need something new? That's different from every 18 months sacking a new manager who's not even completed a rebuild and never allowing anything to flourish, but always using the same excuses and logic that another manager will make the club perform better, even though the same mistakes are being made internally. You can't compare those two scenarios. The scenarios are not the same. And I think it was Tony Stark that said this in the first Avengers. I need all the variables before I can work out the equation. And that's a simple thing that goes on here. If the variables are different, the equation and the answer are not going to marry up and be the same. And that's the problem with football fans nowadays. And me and Lee get into a lot of these debates. It's, I know you think that about Arsenal, but you can't apply that same logic to every club, in every city around the country, because their situations are all different. Things have to operate differently to try and get to the same outcome, but for some reason we live in this weird world now where everyone thinks they're a magic glove and it's one size fits all, for me personally, and I don't think that's right.